All right, so here we're going to get into some enrollments. And this is something that if you set it up right in the front end, it really saves a lot of time on the back end. By no means do you have to use it. You can just allow students into your course, but you do want to, setting it up allows students easier access to your course. So rather than having them navigate the depths of the infrastructure of Moodle, if you set this up right, it makes it real easy for students to access your course. So the first thing is you have to choose if you want to set up groups or not. So you notice I went into course settings button or course management button, and then over here I have the option for groups. Now if I want to set groups up, here's where I do it. It's very easy to do it. You just create a group, and you could say something like, I already have group 1, so here let's do period 2. And you want to put a fake password here. I mean, you can put anything you want. I just write fake password. The reason you put a password here is so somebody can't click into the course and then just add themselves to the group. If you have a password, then it prompts them for a password. So you might set up, I don't know if you teach 5 periods of the same thing or whatever, but so this is, typically this is set up more for, a typical high school or middle school setup. Whereas in elementary school, you're probably not going to set up groups because you have 20 students that pretty much do everything, or 30 students, however many that is, that are pretty much doing all things, but they're all doing them somewhat together. All right, so we've got a couple different groups set up. And the reason I set up groups is so that I can give out a unique enrollment code. And I find that code using this enrollment button right here. You can also go to your course management and click Enrollment Methods, but it's turned on by default. So Easy Enrollments is the code that you're going to give, and this allows students to enroll themselves in the correct group. Now, keep in mind here, if you want parent access, you're probably going to want to turn on guest access, because what that does is you can send out the link to your course, then people can get into your course and see what's there without having an account in the system. When you send out the link to the course, they can just see it. Now, if a student goes to that link, they can see everything, but when they try to do something, it's going to say you're not logged in. So then they'll have to log in, and then it'll allow them to do stuff. So, like a parent can't take a quiz, but a parent could look at a page that you made. A parent could look at an assignment, but they can't, when I say parent, a guest. A guest can look at an assignment, but they themselves can't submit that assignment. They'd have to be enrolled with an account, and that's reserved, for students. So anyway, we'll have a whole video on guest access. So what you need to do is you just need to look at the settings of the Easy Enrollment. Clicking this button is almost the same as clicking this button up here. Okay, so now here's where you can get the code. Now, if you want, you can get a QR code. It'll just download a QR code, and you can tell your students, hey, take a picture of this QR code, and it'll put you in the class once you've enrolled or once you have an account in the system. And earlier we went over how students get accounts in the system. You'll send this one out to your second period. You'll send this one out to your third period. It'll get them all into the same class, but it'll allow you to group them. So if I just want to look at who's done a specific assignment in second period, I'll be able to have a drop-down menu and just click on second period if I set them up this way. If I put everybody in the same course and I don't group them at all, it's completely fine. You'd give everybody this code, but then you won't be able to filter like, oh, this is my second hour, this is my third hour. The same goes for gradebook. So if you're going to be taking grades and putting them into a student information system, it's really nice to be able to have your Moodle gradebook be in the same order as your SIS gradebook. So you don't have to look at names every time. You can just move a column over for numbers, and makes it go much quicker. So that's enrollments. Again, it's completely optional. Setting up groups is optional, and having easy enrollments on is optional. But if you have groups, you'll send out a different 6 alphanumeric code to each group. If you have everybody in the same one, you'll give them all the same code. They put that in, so I'm going to go ahead and copy that. The first time they log into the LMS, they just put it in right here and click enroll. Now that course will be there for them in their My Courses, and that course will be there for them down here. If they, let's say they're in high school, they've got 6 different courses, they'll put in 6 codes, it'll get them into the right courses, and then those same 6 courses will show up in My Courses and as well as down here. So they know, it's kind of like your classroom. They know where to go to find the information for your class. That pretty well does setting up easy enrollments.